Obviously, Arsenal 2, PSG 0, but the big news that was coming out of tonight is the fact that Mohammed Kudus was actually in attendance at the Emirates Stadium. So we're going to be talking about that, talking a bit about the game as well, and just talking about other things related to Arsenal ahead of, the game against Southampton on the weekend before the international break. But before I begin, if you are new here, please smash a like and a subscribe as well. It will be greatly appreciated. But yeah, let us just start with the Mohammed Kudus stuff, because it was quite interesting. Arsenal seem to do this thing when they like a player to bring them over to the Emirates. We've seen it with Calafiori before. We've seen it with other signings as well. Kiwior was at the Emirates before he came to join us as well. It seems to be some sort of tradition, to get players used to the Arsenal environment. And I know for a fact that Arsenal have been heavily interested in Mohammed Kudus ever since, before he even went to West Ham. If you goodness didn't know, he actually was very close to coming to Arsenal. Ajax were holding out for us to actually put a bid in for Kudus. We have a brilliant relationship with Ajax, but obviously things fell through. But Kudus has an 80 million sort of release clause heading into next summer, and it's something that we want to do. I'm definitely sure of this. Kudus is very high on our sort of list. He's a ball carrier, someone that can play on the right wing, someone that can play centre forward, left wing as well. 8. He can play all the positions that we sort of need, and we need someone of his profile. So it's just quite interesting. Him at the Emirates, maybe he's there to just watch the game, but I very, very much doubt it. And, Arsenal want to move swiftly and quickly in the transfer market. And today, a couple of Arsenal fans actually did find Kudus there at the Emirates. So it was just quite interesting, to be honest. But could you imagine if Arsenal had Kudus in the side? You've got Ødegaard, Kudus, Saka, you've got Havertz, you've got, Trossard, you've got Martinelli, Sterling, of course. Maybe you won't be at the club next season, but you've got such a massive amount of quality in wide areas and midfield areas, and we're now starting to have this sort of depth, which is just so good. And I forgot to say Saka, of course. Kudus and Saka can play together. That's the beauty of this signing. Kudus can be a backup to Saka, or come in for Saka in games, and that's just brilliant. I'm a big fan of Mohammed Kudus. I feel like he's a bit better than West Ham now. We've seen his quality, and he's still young, 25, 26. There's still so much for him to give, but really nice. I'm happy that I kind of caught that photo of Kudus. It's there in the bottom right corner, and hopefully maybe Kudus is coming to the Emirates next season. Let me know, Gunners, would you love Kudus at the club? But yeah, let us just get into a bit of talk about the PSG game. Obviously, nice 2-0 win at the Emirates Stadium. Nice to see, Lewis Skelly come on, Marino have a really good game. Hopefully I'll get an analysis out there for him. But it was a successful evening. Of course, in the second half, maybe we could have done a bit better, but it was all about managing the game, managing the quality of PSG, because we cannot underestimate how good PSG actually are. They've got a lot of quality all over the pitch. They have a lot of skill, and they can hurt you. So sometimes it's okay to suffer, to sit back, because the game state makes you do that, and I feel like we're now a mature team that understands some games we can't always have the ball for every single minute of the game. Sometimes you've got to sit deep, accept that the opposition has a lot of quality, and I think that's what we did. And obviously they didn't give us any sort of threat. I feel like through the middle, PSG was so poor. They've got some nice tidy midfielders in there, but even then I feel like we were just physically a mismatch. And I want to talk about Marino a little bit, although I'm going to do a longer video on him. He was really good. 3 tackles in there. I think he had 86% pass accuracy as well, and he was just really quality. Nice touches in there. He lost the ball a couple of times, but that's to be expected. Sort of rusty, but there's a lot there to suggest he's going to be a big player for us this season. Alongside Rice, you've just got a lot of physicality, technical quality. You've got box crashing from Marino as well. You've got a lot of things in there, to be honest, and it's really nice to see him get onto the Emirates Stadium. The sort of reception he got as well was very good. Everyone's so excited to see him finally. It's so unfortunate he got the injury, but really nice to see him turn up there, at the Emirates Stadium. And a note to Havertz and Trossard as well. I think they were absolutely incredible. The quality they have, the sort of synergy they have as well. Beautiful ball into the box by Trossard into Havertz's head, who is just so good. He's now scored in 6 games in a row, and if he scores in 2 more games in a row at the Emirates Stadium, that is, he will break the record for the most goals scored in a row at the Emirates Stadium. And wouldn't that just be absolutely incredible for a player who came into the club? Many of the fans weren't, big fans of him, and rightly so. Maybe 65 million, there was a lot of factors why you would be against the signing of Kai Havertz, but he's really showing up, really showing his quality, really showing sort of what he has, you know, his dual capacity. His hold-up play tonight was just so good, putting his body in some really good situations, protecting the ball. All of these things were just lovely to see, you know, and he's adding goals and assists to his game, and that's all you can ask for. I feel like the game against Leicester wasn't his best game, but he still comes out with a goal, and that's all you can ask for from a striker, from a centre forward. If you're not playing well in your overall game, make sure you're scoring. If you are playing well in your overall game, make sure you're scoring as well, and he does that. And of course, Trossard playing in this sort of Odegaard sort of role, I think it was really positive, really good outside of, you know, the box. Normally I'm his biggest critic because I feel like he doesn't do enough in the terms of, you know, outside the box, in terms of his tight spaces outside of the sort of, you know, box area. But today Trossard was really nifty, really good, and I love what I saw. And of course, Julian Timber, where on my second channel I made a longer video, link in the description to watch that. Julian Timber is just so good. The way he was tackling, the way he was putting his body in the way of Barcola, just the way he was acting was just so good. He's a quality fullback. We're so blessed to have him at the club. He just gives us so much quality going forward, going backwards. Barcola had nothing against him, and that's all you can ask for from a fullback area. And it's going to be very difficult for Ben White to sort of get his place back. But you know, this is what it's all about. This is what being a big club is all about: competition for places and quality all over the pitch. And that's how you sustain and be a top club for a very long time. But successful night, 2-0 win, and nice to see Mohammed Kudus at the Emirates Stadium, potentially one to watch into, you know, January or even the summer as well. But yeah, until next time, Gunners, peace.